Om Janani Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shrutva Pranamami Muhurmu Namah Shri Adirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Today is the auspicious Buddha Purnima. Buddha Purnima, Vaishakha Purnima is called Thrice Blessed Day. Thrice Blessed Day because on this very day, Bhagavan Buddha was born and he attained enlightenment on this Vaishakha Purnima, and also Parinirvana, Mahasamadhi. He entered Mahasamadhi also on this very day, Vaishakha Purnima. So that's why it has been called as the Thrice Blessed Day. And when it comes to our tradition, Ramakrishna Vivekananda tradition, Swami Vivekananda gives an important place to Bhagavan Buddha when it comes to philosophy, history, etc. Such a great personality with tremendous philosophy, and along with that, the influence he generated on Indian mind. So because of all these reasons, Swami Vivekananda gives an important place to Bhagavan Buddha. And Swami Vivekananda himself was influenced by Bhagavan Buddha a lot. We know that Bhagavan Buddha was ready to give his life, sacrifice his life for the welfare of humanity. Once, someone wanted to sacrifice a lamb, and Buddha told, "You sacrifice me and save that lamb." So he was ready to sacrifice his life for the sake of one lamb. So much of compassion. And the same kind of heart we find in Swami Vivekananda also. So much of compassion. So what he pointed out, till there is one dog in my country which is hungry, until then I do not want my moksha. And my duty is to feed the dog. That was Swami Vivekananda, that compassion. From where he got? From the life of Bhagavan Buddha, that's what we find. So this kind of influence Bhagavan Buddha generated on Swami Vivekananda. We have been studying the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. In the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, there is one chapter, it's called The Master and Buddha. Those were the days when young Narendra, he was deeply immersed in the thought of Buddha, the philosophy of Buddha, the life of Buddha. And then Sri Ramakrishna was staying in Kashipur, the last year of his life, the last few months of his life. The date is Friday, April 9, 1886. It's in the month of August, Sri Ramakrishna entered Mahasamadhi, just a few months before Sri Ramakrishna was passing away. So one day what happened, Narendranath, along with two his brothers in the sense disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, they went to Bodh Gaya, spent a few days in meditation and tapasya and came back. And then there is a conversation, important conversation. So when Mahendranath Gupta, Master Mahashay, came to Sri Ramakrishna that day, Sri Ramakrishna says, Narendra entered the room and took a seat. Shashi, Rakal and one or two other devotees came in. The master asked Narendra to stroke his feet, and he also asked him whether he had taken his meal. Master, smiling to Yam, he went there. That is referring to Bodhgaya. He means here Narendra. Narendra went to Bodhgaya. That's what Sri Ramakrishna says. Yam to Narendra. Master Mahashay asked Narendra, what are the doctrines of Buddha? Narendra, he could not express in words what he had realized by his tapasya. So people say he was an atheist. Master, by science, why atheist? He was not an atheist. He simply could not express his inner experiences in words. Do you know what Buddha means? It is to become one with Bodha, pure intelligence, by meditating on that which is the nature of pure intelligence. It is to become pure intelligence itself. So Sri Ramakrishna points out what Buddha means. One who has attained that Bodha, pure intelligence. Such a one is called Buddha. And when Narendra points out that Buddha did not say whether God exists or not, and that is why many people call him an atheist, Nastikud. But then Sri Ramakrishna says, no, Buddha was not an Astika. He was not an atheist. He only could not express his experiences, inner experiences. He did not say either God exists or God does not exist. So that is why to tell him that she is a Nastika is a wrong thing that Sri Ramakrishna points out. Narendra, yes sir. Then further the conversation continues. Sri Ramakrishna asks Master Narendra, what did Buddha preach? Narendra, he did not discuss the existence or non-existence of God, but he showed compassion for others all his life. A hawk pounced upon a bird and was about to devour it. In order to save the bird, Buddha gave the hawk his own flesh. So Buddha gave flesh from his body to a hawk to save a bird. So tremendous compassion. That's what Narendra talks about. Narendra also says, Narendra, how great his renunciation was. Born a prince, he renounced everything. Now he was a prince, but gave up everything and went to the forest. So he talks about the tremendous renunciation of Bhagavan Buddha. And that also for what? Usually people renounce the world so that they want to have a God realization. But then that was not the reason for Buddha's renouncing the world. So when we study his life, we find that Buddha did not go for the sake of God realization, but rather he wanted to find a way out of misery. People are suffering from misery. What is the way out? And Buddha himself was not suffering, but then others. So that's what we find. That is why Swami Vivekananda calls such a great enunciation. Two things. One is compassion of Buddha, and second thing about his great renunciation. That's what we find Swami Vivekananda talks about. When it comes to the life of Bhagavan Buddha, he was born 2500 years ago. So it was Kapilavastu. And there was a king called Shuddhodana, his wife Maya Devi. For them he was born and he was named as Siddhartha. When the astrologers were called to write the Kundali of this boy, the son of the king, they told that either he will become a monarch or a great monk. So now, Shuddhodana did not want his son to become a monk. So then, he thought well about it, and ultimately decided, suppose if he sees the miseries of the world, and because of this misery he may renounce the world. That is why he kept Siddhartha in a protected environment where you would not see misery at all. Always happiness. He was prince and it was possible. So such an environment was provided. Everywhere only enjoyments, only happy faces always. So that is how his life was going on. He was grown up in that protected environment, and he got married, and he had a son also. And at this juncture, one day, Siddhartha wanted to see the world outside. A strong urge came in his mind. His father was not willing to send him outside, because if he goes outside, he may see some miserable people and ultimately he may renounce the world. He was afraid, because the astrologers had told that he will become a monarch or a great monk. Now his father wanted him to become a great monarch, not a monk. So, but then when Siddhartha insisted that she wanted to go and see outside, so a nice chariot, prince is going out for the first time. A very beautiful chariot was prepared, and not only that, Shuddhodana had ordered that whichever street he goes, a selected street that was selected, and there everything should be kept, well kept. Not only that, he should not see any kind of miserable things. That was the order. But in spite of that, when he was going in the street, what happened was, Siddhartha saw an old man. He asked Channa, his charioteer, "Who is this?" And he told, "He is an old man." He had never seen, Siddhartha had never seen an old man. What does it mean? Why he is so shaky? This old man with an emaciated body was walking with great difficulty, trembling. Then why he is trembling so much? Why he is feeling so miserable? Then, Channa told, he is an old man, and not only he, anyone who becomes old, they will become like this, because the energy in the body gets strained and the indriyas become weak. That is why a person becomes like that. Then Siddhartha was surprised. He was shocked rather. And then he was thinking about this and came back. Next day again he went out, and another street was selected. And when he was going, he saw a man suffering from disease. He was also feeling miserable. Then he asked his charioteer, "Who is this? This man is suffering from disease. What does disease means?" Then Channa explained, "Oh, do I get disease? Yes, you may get. Does my father get disease? Yes, he may get. My wife, my son? Yes, anyone can get. There is no saying that who will get and when will get." So, when this question was told, again it was shocking to Siddhartha. Thinking about this, he came back. Next day again he went out, and then he saw a dead body. People were carrying a dead body. The king had tried his level best so that no untoward incident should happen on his way, but then it happened. When he saw the dead body, he asked Channa, "Who is that?" "He is a dead man." "What does it mean?" He told, "He is a dead man. The life has left his body." "Oh, I see. Does everybody die?" "Yes, everyone has to die one or the other day." "Am I going to die one day?" "Yes." "My father?" "Yes." "Wife, son?" "Yes." Then it was again shocking to Siddhartha. And not only that, when a dead body was being taken, all the other relatives, they were weeping. So miserable condition. This misery of the people moved Siddhartha so much. He went on brooding over that continuously. He could not get sleep. Next day again, he was going out. And when he was going out, he saw a sannyas. Very little cloth on the body. No, practically no possession at all. He was walking, so much of joy on the face. And he asked him, who is this? He is a sannyasi, shamana. And he asked, oh, what does it mean? He has renounced everything, he has given up everything. Then Siddhartha was just thinking about this. You see, he has no possession. He does not have a palace, he does not have this thing. In spite of that, he is so happy. What is the secret? And then ultimately, thinking about the whole thing, Siddhartha decided that if the people are suffering so much, there must be a way out of suffering. I must find it out. For that, he followed the path of the sannyasi. One day, quietly he left the palace without informing anybody. And then he went to the forest in search of truth, in search of a way out from misery. And then he got a guru. His name was Anara Kalama, a yogi. Under his guidance, Siddhartha started doing tapasya and also wanted to learn philosophy. So Kalama taught him whatever he knew. Then from Siddhartha was not satisfied because he did not find a way out of misery. Then he went to another guru. His name was Udaka Ramaputta. So he also taught him many philosophy, this thing, that thing, etc. But then that also did not satisfy Siddhartha. Then he thought that only way out probably is tapasya. So he went to the forest. There, without taking food, drink or anything, he started doing tapasya. Went on meditating and meditating. Body became weak. Body became emaciated. He did not have the energy even to walk. And he became so weak. One day, he wanted to drink water. He wanted to go to the river. But he could not walk. So weak he had become. And he was about to die. That was the condition of the body. At that juncture, one lady gives him, payasam, Sujata. And after taking that, he regains some energy and mind starts thinking. In that condition, he was not able to think even. And mind starts thinking. When his mind started thinking, then he was just assessing the whole thing. So many days I did tapasya and everything, but what did I achieve? I did not find a way out of misery. Only result is that my body has become weak and I was about to die. This is not the way out. That means torturing the body is not the way out. Then he told, not to follow religion. This torturing the body is not the way out. He told that Madhyapantha, middle path, that has to be followed. And that is how, by taking food, etc., he started doing tapasya. When he was doing this austerity without taking food and all, there were 5 tapasvis who were already doing tapasya there. And when Siddhartha came and he started doing tapasya, his tapasya was more severe than these 5 tapasvis. And that's why they started following him. And they became his disciples. But then once he started taking food, they thought he has fallen from the path. It's already a fallen sannyasi because he is taking food, you see. Tapasvi is taking food and they left him. And Siddhartha slowly, from there he went to Bodhgaya, there sitting under the Bodhi tree. Atra iha atrasane shishyati me shariram. So until I get enlightenment, I will not get up. Went on meditating, and ultimately on a Vaishaka Purnima day, he had that enlightenment, bodha. Before that, when he was came out of his kingdom, and he was doing tapasya and all. One day when he was coming in Magadha, Bindisara, seeing Siddhartha and his shining face and tremendous personality, he offered him a position in his, what you call government. Siddhartha told him no. Then when he was the disciple of Alama, Kalama, he also told, see, you are a greater guru than me. I have taught whatever I know, but then you know much more than me. So now you can guide my disciples. He had an ashrama with many disciples and all those things. So he offered him his chair. So there, king wanted to give him power, and here, the guru was offering him a power, but then he refused both of them. He went to the forest and did tapasya. And when, even when he was doing tapasya under the Bodhi tree, so his life says that Mara comes, temptation in another form. Earlier, so far, it was in the gross form. Now at the mental level, intellectual level, many kinds of temptations they were coming to his mind. But then he overcame all of them with tremendous resolve. Until I get enlightenment, I will never get up from this place. And ultimately, he had the realization. Bodha. He attained Bodha and became Buddha. And when he came from that state, so he knew that there is a way out of misery. And he wanted to preach to the people. The very presence of Buddha used to inspire people. Just looking at him, people used to get inspired. People used to wonder what kind of tremendous personality he is. So much of, what you call it, power on the face. So wherever he went, people used to get influenced, and many became his disciples. So he went on preaching his doctrine. So ultimately what he taught was, that 4 important points. This world is full of misery. That's what he pointed out. This world is full of misery. And what is the cause of this misery? The desire is the cause of misery. The desire is the cause of misery. Then Buddha also pointed out that there is a way out of this misery. And what is that way out? There is the Ashtanga Marga. That's what he preached. Buddha preached. So this Ashtanga Marga, 8-fold path, they were very simple. Like, right judgment, right speech. So when we take a judgment decision, it must be right. The same way when we speak something, it must be the right one. That means use your intellect properly, understanding properly. And right views, we have to develop proper views towards our life. In the same way, there should be a proper goal for life, aim, right aim. So thus, this thing was what we call the path was simple, and then many people became his disciples. And as I told you, Buddha taught the Madhya Pantha. And this Madhya Pantha is nothing new, because it is there already in Bhagavad Gita. Vedanta taught about this Madhya Pantha already. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that Natyashnatastu yogosti najaikanta manashnata nachati swapnashilasya jagrato naivacha arjuna yukta ahara viharasya yukta chestasya karmasu yukta swapnava bodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. So, a proper understanding of this is very important. Yukta ahara viharasya. There should be moderation in ahara. One who eats too much, she also cannot practice religion. And one who does not eat also, those who do tapasya without taking food, etc., they also fail to practice religion. So practice dharma. So this is what he pointed out. So that is why Madhyapanta, Yukta Ahara Viharasya, Yukta Chestasya Karmasu, even effort also. There are people, when they take up something simply, they go on doing till they collapse one day. They won't give up until then. And if they do not do anything, simply they keep quiet. So this extremity had to be shunned. That's what Buddha told. Try to tread the middle path, a moderate path that is good for everybody. So these were some of the teachings of Buddha. And then, as I pointed out, there were many who were the followers of Bhagavan Buddha. Even the kings became his disciples. And Buddha gave direction to them. One of the important preaching of Bhagavan Buddha was that if people asked him whether God exists or not, he would not say anything. He would just keep silent. So that was Bhagavan Buddha. Many, what you call discussion that has been done about this. But then, as just now I pointed out, Sri Ramakrishna also tells very clearly that just because he did not tell anything, we should not conclude that he was an atheist. We should not, because the philosophy of Buddha is called agnostic philosophy. Many people call it as the agnostic philosophy. But then Sri Ramakrishna very clearly says that Buddha was not an atheist. He was not an agnostic. Only he could not express. And in Sri Ramakrishna's life also we find, Sri Ramakrishna, when he used to talk to the devotees, he used to keep on talking, and when it comes to such a place where certain things have to be explained, then he would say, someone is pressing my throat, someone is not allowing me to speak. Because in Sri Ramakrishna's, what you call Arati hymn, Swami Vivekananda has written, Namo Namo Prabhu Vakya Manathita. So this reality or the truth is beyond vacha. Na tatra chakshur gacchati, na vak gacchati, na manaha. So even the mind also cannot go there. Even this mind also cannot understand the reality. So that is why the moment you say yes or no, you are telling through the senses, which cannot comprehend the reality. So that is why, because of all these things, Buddha never would say either God exists or not exists. He would just silent. He would be silent. But then he would tell one thing, that find it out yourself. Now why do you want to know? We know that the following a guru. But then Buddha used to say, don't follow anybody, follow yourself. Because you yourself have got that tremendous understanding, intelligence in you. Make use of that. So be a light unto yourself. That was the tremendous message of Buddha. Anything you try to find out, verify yourself. So this is very important when it comes to religion. Most of the time what happens with it, there are many people who want to defend religion. Different religions, not only about Hinduism or any other ism. And the people want to defend that ism. But then they themselves do not know what it is. So without verifying, without understanding, do not believe. Swami Vivekananda also talks about this very clearly. Whatever I say, don't accept it as it is. Try to use your intelligence, try to understand. And if you think that it is true, then you can follow it. He told his own disciples. Buddha also told the same thing. Buddha also told the same thing. Whatever I say, you do not have to follow. First, use your intelligence. Try to understand. Be a light unto yourself. So this is what Buddha taught. But then his teaching was so nice, and through many stories, etc., he used to teach so that people can understand. And important part of his teaching was that before becoming spiritual, first be an ethical person. Try to follow moral preceptions. That's very important. Be a moral person, be an ethical person first of all. That is very important. Many times people who follow religion, dharma, They forget about this. So personal life, the character, whatever it may be. But then I will follow the religion. No, it cannot. It's not possible, because the very foundation of spiritual life or the religious life is morality, ethics. And without that foundation, you cannot build the spiritual life. It is not possible. So here Buddha also talks about that. One day, there is this thing, what you call a story about this Buddha's teaching, how it works, how Buddha teaches. There is what you call a Zen, there is a Buddhism called Zen Buddhism, Zen masters. So once a young sannyasi went for Tirtha Yatra, took permission from his guru, and then he went for Tirtha Yatra. And on his way, after 2-3 days, he reached a place where there was an ashrama, where he stayed for the night. And then when he met the guru of that ashrama, that guru asked him, whose disciple you are? And when he told the name of his guru, that guru of that ashrama, he went on criticizing his guru. Now it was at night, he could not go out. So he waited till morning, and morning he went away from that ashrama, left that ashrama. But then he was terribly upset. Why that guru should criticize my guru? Why he should criticize my guru at all? My guru is such a great person, and why he should criticize? And this young sannyasi went on pilgrimage. He visited many places, many important places, and met many other gurus and all. And maybe after 6 months or so, he came back to his ashrama. And when he met his guru, guru asked him, how was your experience and all? Then he told about the many great places he visited, many great men he visited, and all those things. After narrating the whole thing, then he told, but then one very, very unpleasant thing happened. And what is that? See that the guru of this certain ashrama, that particular ashrama, he criticized you, and he criticized you so much. I felt very bad. Then his guru told this young sannyasi, what kind of person you are? What kind of person you are? You see, for 6 months, you have been carrying this dirt in your mind. He asked him. See, what he told, well, he told is all right, and you did not have any control over that. But then, what was wrong was keeping that in mind and brooding over that again and again, and you are feeling so bad even now. While expressing itself, you was so agitated and excited. Why should that guru, talk so ill of you, etc., etc. Told, even now you are agitated so much. You have lost your peace of mind for 6 months. You would have simply thrown that dirt out. But then you have carried this dirt in your mind for 6 months. Buddha says, it's not only this, there are many such things in each and every one of us. You have to purify that. See, when we suffer from a disease, what we do? We treat the body. Doctor says that you have got infection, you need antibiotics. And antibiotics are given, then afterwards only when all this infection is removed, then only we become very happy. Because we know that if the infection is allowed, one day it will consume this body itself. So when such is the case, infection should not be allowed inside the body. This is what we say. Buddha asks us the same question. What about your mind? There are many infections inside the mind. Say for example, hatred. The moment you hate someone, it's going to burn you within. It's like an infection that is there inside your mind. And you never try to get rid of this hatred, or for that matter, jealousy. So just like body requires treatment when there is an infection, In the same way, mind also requires treatment if you have to live a normal life. Why people do not get peace of mind? Why people feel miserable? Bhagavan Buddha says most of the time it's our own making. Misery does not come from outside. Most of the time it's within us. And he told them, no, this is the desire. And all these kind of things, that it is them, they make us miserable because they are like infection in us. They destroy our peace of mind. They do not allow us to be joyous. And thus we keep on brooding over that. And all our life, this is what happens. So this infection will remain in our mind and destroys our mind. So that is why Buddha says, just like we treat the body, the same way you have to treat the mind also. Try to overcome them. Try to get rid of them. Cultivate good qualities. Cultivate love. Cultivate compassion. Cultivate honesty. Cultivate truthfulness. These are all the ways. Then and then alone, we can really attain peace of mind. Until then, it is not possible, because just like body, when infection enters, body cannot be happy. Body suffers from misery because of this disease. In the same way, for mind, these are the infections. So only when that is cured, then only mind becomes healthy. So this is what Buddha taught us, an important factor. So once, the Buddha was such a great person and used to teach in such a manner, tremendous way of teaching. His way of teaching was different. One day, Buddha went for begging. And when he went for begging, it started raining. And Buddha took shelter under the roof of a house, outside the extended roof. There he was standing. And inside the house owner, he was there. He saw Buddha coming there and standing there, taking shelter there. So this owner of this house did not like Buddha. Many people used to go and listen to his teachings, etc. Many of them had changed their way of life. They had become better people. But then this man somehow did not like Buddha, because he did not want to change. The moment you go to Buddha, he says that don't become angry with anybody, don't become jealous with anybody. Then you would say, how is that possible? So he did not want to change in any way. If you want to give peace of mind, without removing all these things, if you can give, then you can give. Otherwise, I am what I am. Don't teach me, This is the kind of, we are also like that, modern times. So if someone says, overcome this jealousy, overcome this hatred, etc. No, we are not ready to remove all of them. We want peace of mind. Tell us some meditation technique. When we are sitting there, immediately we will get peace of mind. Many people come to that. But then, from outside, if you do meditation and all those things, and you may get peace of mind. Many times we get, no doubt. But then that is temporary, because there is infection inside. There is infection inside. Again, it will create disease. So how long you can be peaceful? Just by be meditating for a few minutes? So that is why here also we find, so Buddha was there, and then this man, the owner of the house, he was one of such people, and he hated Buddha. Now he got an opportunity to take revenge against Buddha. What he did was he told loudly to his wife, bring all the foods. You see, I work very hard and I earn money and I enjoy all the foods, you see. That's what he was telling. He was telling his wife loudly so that Buddha could hear. But no response from Buddha. Then after some times, rain continued. Then he told, "Oh rain, come more and more, because I have built a nice house, I have a roof on my head, and as much as you can go on pouring, I have no problem at all." No response from outside. And then this owner of the house, he thought, this person is very strong. He is not going to respond for all these things. Then he came out of the house and he saw Buddha still, he was standing there. He went on criticizing and criticizing with all, language he knew, all these things. But Buddha just kept on smiling. Then, after that, this person became tired completely. And he got exhausted. And not only that, what actually happens is that the people who criticize others, if the person opposite, they respond, such a person reacts, then they become very happy. But then if the person does not react, they get frustrated. So the same thing happened to this man. Buddha was not at all responding, just he kept smiling. Then afterwards, he told with folded hands, because he realized that this person is not an ordinary person, because any other person would have become angry and slapped him on his face. But then he was not an ordinary person. So then he told, see, I have some questions to ask. Then Buddha smiling told, yes, go ahead. Then he told, see, I was scolding you such a long time. I was criticizing you, I was scolding you, I used all the abusive words and everything. But still you did not react. Why? What is the reason? Then Buddha told him, you see, my friend, suppose you go to your friend's house and then your friend gives you a gift. And if you do not accept that gift, what happens? He told, that will remain with my friend. In the same way, the gift that you give for so far, so I will not accept and it will be with you. And Buddha went away. Just see the man. See the tremendous personality. He told, I won't accept, that's all. You see, this is our problem. Our problem is that the moment someone tells something, immediately we react. But what Buddha told, see, whatever you told, I am not accepting, that's all. Simple thing. Whatever you are told, you might have criticized me, whatever you might have told. But then, I just simply don't accept that. It is not for me at all. So he told him, just like the gift, your friend, when you want to give to your friend, and if he does not accept, it will remain with you. The same way, all those nice words you spoke so far, all of them will remain with you. You will receive that. So now you see, it's a story. It's an incident. But then such a wonderful teaching lies there. Such a wonderful teaching lies there. What it says is that, our expectation in life, that is so, because of which we lose our peace of mind. The more and more we expect from this world. Say for example, when we go out, we think that people should respect us. If they do not respect, at least people should not criticize us. So this expectation remains with us. That is why many places, suppose a place where we know each other, friends of someone whom we love so much. Suppose that friend does not talk to you, then what happens? You start what you call burning within so much. He knows me so well and he is not talking to me. Just a simple action. He has not done anything, but then still we start burning. What is the reason? Because we expect something. The more and more we expect from this world, the more and more miserable we become. Bhagavan Buddha told that, I don't expect anything from you. I do not expect anything from you. No bhiksha or anything. And not only that, even those words also, I am not going to accept, that's all. So there you can build a firewall, as they call it in the modern terms. The modern terms, computer language, they call it firewall. Firewall means it's a protection against all kinds of virus and everything. In the same way, these are all the viruses. Different kinds of reactions, different kinds of incidents that happen in our life. They're all like viruses. What happens? All these things, they disturb our mind. And if we build a firewall here, then what happens? We can protect ourselves. So Buddha says, build that firewall. Don't expect anything from anybody. Such a wonderful teachings when we study his life and message. And Swami Vivekananda says that he was such a great man of that tremendous compassion. Swami Vivekananda talks about two persons. One about Bhagavan Buddha, another about Shankaracharya. He says, when it comes to the heart, the feeling, it's Bhagavan Buddha. And when it comes to intellect, it is Shankaracharya. These two are great in these two ways. And he points out that Sri Ramakrishna has imbibed these two things from these personalities. He had the heart of Buddha and also the intellect of Shankara combined in him, combined in Sri Ramakrishna. The tremendous feeling of Sri Ramakrishna. Even during his last days, Sri Ramakrishna was suffering, we find, and people used to come for advice. Sri Ramakrishna would not refuse anybody. He would not refuse. It was torturous for him. Everyone could understand. But then he would say, if I can give some happiness to them, after all this body is going to die one day. That's what Sri Ramakrishna. And from where Swami Vivekananda says, he got that, the kind of heart he got is like the Buddha. And in Bhagavan Buddha's life also we find, all through his life, it was a life of sacrifice. The day he realized that this world is full of misery, and from that point onwards, whatever Bhagavan Buddha did, nothing was for himself. It was everything for the sake of this world, the suffering humanity. Just try to analyze this, then you will find. Because we find there were many great people who had that tremendous renunciation and everything. But then there was a purpose. Many of them wanted to have God realization. At least they had that purpose. Though it cannot be said as a desire or something like that, but still wanting their own emancipation. We find in Swami Vivekananda's life, one day this Narendra, he asked Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna asked him, what do you want? Then what Narendra says that I want Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And I want to immerse myself in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, coming out once in a while so that I can take little food, so that body can be protected and immerse in the bliss of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Then what Sri Ramakrishna told him? Such a small-minded you are. I thought that you are a great person. I thought you are like a banyan tree under which thousands of creatures will take shelter. A huge banyan tree under which thousands of people will take shelter. But you are wanting just your own salvation. You are thinking about your own salvation. These are the words of Sri Ramakrishna. And that is why we find ultimately when the young Narendranath transformed himself into Vivekananda, what was his feeling from that point onwards? It is for the welfare of the humanity. Every action, just like Bhagavan Buddha did everything for the sake of others. His preaching, his life, his tapasya was for the sake of others. And the same way his life, at the age of 40 he had realization. And after that, another 40 years, he traveled, he lived up to 80 years. Even in that old age also, he used to go from place to place and preach the people, show them the way out of misery. That was his mission in life. And the same way we find same kind of phenomena in Swami Vivekananda's life also. He traveled all over the world. And he did not want anything for himself, remember. It's not for his own glory that he went there. That was not the aim. His master had entrusted him with some responsibility. And everything he did was for that sake, not for himself. So that is why Swami Vivekananda liked Bhagavan Buddha. And second, his renunciation, and other is compassion. Compassion also we find. So Sri Ramakrishna told him that I wanted you to become a huge banyan tree which would give shelter to hundreds of people. That means I want you to become such a great personality who will help hundreds of people. hundreds and thousands of people. And that's what Swami Vivekananda did. What he did to this country, our country, India, it cannot be measured, immeasurable. That's what was a tremendous contribution, and for that he gave his life. So we find that Buddha element in Swami Vivekananda. Buddha's renunciation and Buddha's compassion. And that is why you will find in Swami Vivekananda's life, appreciating him so much, Bhagavan Buddha so much. When he went to America, there he gave lecture in many places on Buddhism and Buddha. In many places he delivered lectures. And all of us know that in the name of Buddha a separate religion was started, which is called Buddhism now. And in spite of that, though Swami Vivekananda was the proponent of Hinduism, but still he took Buddha. The reason was that Buddha started Buddhism, it became separate religion and all, but then Hinduism absorbed it. How? Because for us, Buddha was an incarnation of God. Buddha was an incarnation of God. So that is why you find, though during the lifetime of Buddha, many people, they took to Buddhism, but later on all of them came back because Buddha became an incarnation and he became one of the gods, one of the Dashavataras. So that's what we find, and Swami Vivekananda told about another reason for Swami Vivekananda's preaching Buddha so much there. And you will find Swami Vivekananda did not talk much about Sri Ramakrishna. He did not talk much about Sri Ramakrishna in the Western world. Though he taught the philosophy of Sri Ramakrishna, but he rarely used the words of Sri Ramakrishna, name of Sri Ramakrishna, took the name of Sri Ramakrishna there. Though Sri Ramakrishna was guiding through and through, because Swami Vivekananda did not want one more sect like Buddhism. He did not want one more sect to be built in the name of Sri Ramakrishna. What we find after Buddhism, Buddha wanted to break all the castes and everything. And that was one of the preachings of Buddha. But then, in his name, another religion came. And again, 2-3 groups in that, Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana and all these things. But that's what we find. But then, Swami Vivekananda did not want this to happen. That is why he did not preach Sri Ramakrishna, but he preached the philosophy of Sri Ramakrishna. If he had preached the person of Sri Ramakrishna there, it would have become just like Buddhism and Ramakrishnaism. Remember, it would have been one more ism, Ramakrishnaism. Then a separate sect and few people following that. Swami Vivekananda wanted that, words of Sri Ramakrishna, the message of Sri Ramakrishna should be spread all over the world, and it is required to one and all, beyond the boundary of this religion, etc. So that is why he did not want one more religion to be started in the name of Sri Ramakrishna. In the Lahore lecture, after his coming back from America, in Lahore, because many people asked Swami Vivekananda this question, his own brother disciples. See, you went to America, but you did not preach Sri Ramakrishna. His own brother disciples told him. But then Swami Vivekananda says, you see, when I went to America, and whatever I have spoken, if it has done something good, any word of mine has done something good, it was all credit must go to Sri Ramakrishna. And if he had done any harm, any of my words have done any harm, they are mine. So much of distinction for Sri Ramakrishna. In Lahore, Swami Vivekananda points out, I can bring 1/3 of the world under the banner of Sri Ramakrishna. I have that power. Swami Vivekananda says very clearly there. But then, if I do so, then it would go against the very principle which Sri Ramakrishna lived for. Sri Ramakrishna wanted to break all kinds of sectarianism. No business, no limitation when it comes to religion. Religion should belong, dharma should belong to everybody. Everyone should follow the path of dharma. It should not be limited to one particular class of people or something like that, one particular race. It should not be. So that is why Swami Vivekananda told, if I had preached Sri Ramakrishna, then I would have created one more cult. Now you see, Bhagavan Buddha, he wanted to break all this, barrier of religion. He wanted to break down that wall of religion. The people, being classified as belonging to this ism, that ism, etc. But his disciples preached him so much that ultimately in his name, one more religion started. Anyway, what is very important here for us to note is that in spite of all these things, though 2500 years over, still Buddha influences us so much. 2500 years of Buddha, about a decade ago, it was celebrated all over this country. All over this country. In spite of the fact that there are very few Buddhists in this country, when it comes to a percentage, it's very, very minute. There are many other countries which follow Buddhism, like Sri Lanka, Burma, and many other Asian countries are there, they follow the Buddhism. But whereas in India itself, their percentage is very less. But in spite of that, Buddha even now inspires us. Buddha even now, he guides us. And that is why his life becomes very important. What we have to learn is important, these two things. One is that tremendous renunciation. And Swami Vivekananda points out that steadfastness of Buddha. He sat there on that opposite tree and told, until I get enlightenment, I will not get up from the seat. And that's only after he got that enlightenment, then only got up. Swami Vivekananda says, we also must develop that kind of resolve like Buddha, and also the tremendous compassion of Buddha. So this is what Buddha taught us, and more importantly, that before you want to become spiritual, first become moral and ethical. First be a gentleman. First, that's what Yatishwaranji points out in meditation, spiritual life. Swami Yatishwaranji points out. Before you want to become spiritual, first be a gentleman. What do you mean by gentleman? First develop your character with this all good qualities, ethical qualities, moral qualities. And then only you can build the superstructure called spirituality. So that's what is the message of Buddha. Of course, there is much more than what can be discussed in one class. But then this is what is very important for us and also very relevant even today into this world. So let us pray to Bhagavan Buddha. May he inspire us so that we also can find a light for ourselves. Because he told, be a light unto yourself. May his message inspire us all. So that is our prayer to Bhagavan Buddha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu